I'm Matt Hayes. I haven't got much in common with Barbara Kijewski, really. She's German and I'm English. She's a girl, I'm a boy. She's quite young and I'm, I suppose, a bit oldish. But we both share a passion for fishing. And that's why we've decided to go on the ultimate fishing road trip together to Ontario. Our Ontario adventure has brought us here to Thunder Bay, a major Canadian city located on the shores of Lake Superior. Of course, we are here for the fishing, and this area is pretty famous for one species of fish that's long been on my bucket list. It's a species called the Brook trout. Lake Superior is truly spectacular. It is the largest freshwater lake on the whole planet, and it's a sobering thought that it actually contains 10% of the Earth's fresh water. This amazing place is Fort William. Not the one in Scotland, obviously, although there are some tenuous connections. But actually, this place is the inland headquarters of the Northwest Company, one of the oldest companies in Canada and a very important fur trading organisation. The sad thing about this wonderful place is that it was actually levelled by the railway company, so it's been faithfully restored using, of course, the foundations that were dug up, paintings from the time and various artefacts. And the end result is a wonderful piece of living history. And the most important thing about Fort William is that it's very strategically located. Bonjour. Fascinating. Is it okay if I pick it up?
Absolutely.
It's actually not as heavy as I thought.
Exactly, yes. Very nice lightweight gun. Very good for hunting at this period.
So this would be authentic to what kind of time period?
Early 1800s. Very good for hunting in the North American interior at that time.
Fort William wasn't sited by accident. You see, it's the perfect place to intercept goods coming from two directions. From the east, i.e. Europe, through Montreal, goods were brought in here. And then you also had the native trappers bringing in furs from the west. So that's how the trading actually took place. But this was a huge operation. And it's interesting to note that all of this movement of goods was done by water. In actual fact, the complete passage from the east to the west coast of Canada took 300 years when Alexander Mackenzie finally broke through and saw the Pacific in 1793. Amazing. Now, most of the canoes that were used to transport the goods were actually built here. And the building of canoes was a completely unfamiliar process to the voyageurs. And they were taught how to make canoes by the Native Americans, the Aboriginals, who'd been making these for a very, very long time indeed. They're beautifully constructed, these things, and they're actually made from a whole mixture of natural materials. For example, the hull is made from birch. And then if you actually look at these sections here, these are actually made from spruce. Inside, the ribbing was made from cedar wood. And to make the whole thing waterproof, they used pitch. And the construction is just fabulous. They could, of course, carry very, very heavy loads. The biggest canoes that were used in this operation could carry literally tons of material. And it's also worth bearing in mind that basically the goods were packed into packages weighing around 90 pounds. And it wasn't unusual for a voyageur to carry 2 packs on his back at the same time. Then they'd be loaded into the canoes and either shipped in or shipped out. Amazing. So while I've been doing this little historical detour, Babs has actually been out fishing. I wonder how she's getting on.
Hi, you must be Sandro.
Yes, I am. Hi, Babs.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Welcome to Thunder Bay.
Thank you.
How's your trip in?
Very good. This is my first day here on the Thunder Bay.
But you just got here now? Mm-hmm. So have you caught any big walleyes on your adventure?
No, not
You haven't
yet.
caught any walleyes yet?
A small one, yes. A lot of small ones, but not so big. Hopefully we catch together one big
Well,
one.
we'll give it a whirl anyway.
Are you in water? Perfect. We fish 2 rods behind the boat. We troll the rods and we fish crankbaits, repeller lures. They hit a little bit the ground, and this noise and their fish are very interesting in that. I hope we catch some walleyes or maybe another fish.
There's
Oh, got
fish,
one.
there's
You got
fish
one.
here. There you go. Here, Babs.
All right, the first fish. We fish only 5 minutes, or not? No, 2 minutes. Trolling is the best.
Okay.
A little bit.
Okay.
Oh, great!
That's a beautiful fish too.
Wow, amazing!
Okay.
All right, I bring.
You bring it this way.
Great!
Nice job. Check that out.
Salmon. Look at that beautiful fish. We tried to catch walleye and we caught a salmon. That's a good start.
Yes.
Oh, we saved the dinner for tonight. That's great. Matt will be really happy with that. Hopefully. So we caught no walleye yet. I changed my lure more to a natural color. Hopefully it works better. Oh, got one, got one. Fish on. Yeah, it's on. Oh, look at there. It's a walleye! Yay! All right. I'm really, really happy because it was the last chance and we have only 5 minutes when we go to the harbor. And now I'm always lucky. I'm so lucky, really, really lucky. All right, here we go. You have a, oh, look at that beautiful walleye. Oh, the fins are very special. White on the end. You see that? Great. I'm really, really happy about this fish. Sandro, thank you really much. I enjoy this trip so much.
I'm glad you came out.
I'm leave them back in the water, it's okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Walleye. You come back in the water now. Yay!
Sure. Good job.
I love fishing.
Yeah, me too. It's a sickness. It's a bad drug, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I love it. Oh, thanks a lot for this great 2 hours. I
worries.
enjoy every minute. Give
That's
me
awesome. Absolutely.
Well, Barbara, welcome to Red Rock, located on the Nipigon River. And this area is particularly famous for one species of fish that's highly prized in the world of angling, and it's called the brook trout. Now, Wild brook trout are actually very, very rare, but this is the mecca for them. And in actual fact, 100 years ago, on July the 21st, 1915, Dr. Cook caught a 14-pound plus brook trout, and it's still the world record today. So for me, I know that the muskie was your big deal, but for me, the holy grail of this trip is this brook trout. Catch one on a fly. That's what I really want to do, and I don't think there's a finer place to do it.
Okay. Dr. Hook cooks the brook trout.
No, not Dr. Hook, Dr. Cook.
Dr. Hook, me Dr. Cook.
No, not when you're in love with a beautiful woman. Well, it really is a glorious day today, and for me a very special one. I'm here on the Nipigon river system with local expert Gord Ellis, and he's going to take me to one of his favourite spots about half an hour up the Nipigon system. And we're fishing for what for me is a personal landmark. It's a bucket list fish for sure, and it's the one that in the whole journey is probably the most iconic. It's the brook trout. It's not the biggest fish that you'll see in Canada, but it's arguably the most beautiful. And actually, if you want to be accurate, it's not even a trout at all. It's part of the char family, and I have long coveted catching a brook trout on the fly. It has to be the fly. So I've brought in the best guy in the business to help me. So you're going to go with one of the flies that I brought with me, or?
This is one that I like to use, conehead streamer.
Oh, I knew you were going to go for that. I saw it hanging in the truck. Something very nice about that. So it's a rabbit strip, white streamer. A few rubber legs on it.
Yep.
Give it a bit more movement. That's a nice fly.
Looks a little like a smelt. Okay, Matt, we're going to go about 25 minutes up the river to Virgin Falls.
Great.
So Matt, this spot here where we are right now, before the dam went in, there was a 30 to 40 foot falls called Virgin Falls, which was the hot spot on the Nipigon River, and it's actually also where the muddler minnow was first tied.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for those that don't know, the muddler minnow is one of the world's iconic fishing flies, and it originates here. But it's hard to imagine, isn't it, now, a 30-foot waterfall, a boulder-strewn, massively fast-flowing river, and then the damming took place in, was it 56?
1956, yeah. So this is just really the last vestiges of the current here, but the brook trout's still holding it.
So they tamed the river, but they didn't tame the fish.
No, they are still wild.
That's good.
So Matt, are you feeling expectant about being here?
Yeah, I'm always a little bit nervous when I'm filming because there is pressure, you know, to produce the fish for the camera. But I can tell you this, if I was a tourist on a day out with you up here, I would be hardly able to contain myself. But yeah, I've got that tingle, you know, the butterflies in the stomach, and this fish is just, if I had to pick one fish on the trip that I really want to catch, it is a brook trout, so no pressure.
Well, let's go do it.
Well, my first impressions are that this is a really interesting and exciting place to fish. There's a lot of conflicting currents here which make the presentation of the fly not so easy, but certainly not impossible. And you know, every time that white fly swings around in the current, you can see it from up here. It's really exciting because at any minute I'm expecting this beautiful fish to come out and grab it, but it almost seems too much to ask. When you want something so much, you know, and you put so much into it, so much thought power, and you wish for something to that extent, you know, there's part of you thinks, oh, it's never going to happen, but let's see.
So Matt, we're just going to slip through the tail out of this long run, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold the boat, and you just swing that fly through that little bar area. There's some stumps and some rocks down there, and often there's a fish set up there, sometimes on the shallow side, sometimes on the slightly deeper side.
Up in front of us, right at the end of the world there, because that's what it looks like, all the land masses stop. That's Lake Nipigon, and it's 120 kilometres across. That's amazing, isn't it? Amazing. That's like driving from my house to London. This is a slightly different area here, where we've got a reef out just off the left-hand side of the boat there. And Gord's saying that the fish here behave slightly differently because they're hunting a lot of insect larvae in among the rocks. And so they'll follow the fly a lot without taking it. We've got to keep an eye on it at all times. If we see a follower, try and tease it into taking. And it's really interesting, within these huge systems, you get different strains of fish that behave in different ways. These fish were feeding more on insect larvae, whereas the fish up on the break there are probably more used to taking other fish. So the behaviour is slightly different, and you've got to adapt to it. Oh yeah, got him, yeah. Oh, that was a heck of a hit. Whoa. Boy. Right over where God said there'd be a fish. Big rock underneath the surface of the water, and there it was. Oh, he's come off. Ah, couldn't get tight on him. That was a big fish.
He was right there, wasn't he?
Oh yeah. I mean, to be honest, it wasn't the best cast I made all day, and you know, the fish just hit it right at the end of the strip.
It looked like he hit bottom. That's how tight your line was.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I really should have taken my chance. You know, Gord put me over a rock that he said would hold a big fish. It did. It took my fly, and I gave it some slack line, trying to get the line back on the reel, and with a barbless hook, that's fatal. It just literally came off. Was that the only chance I'm going to get? I don't know, but it kind of feels like it right now. This is really quite brutal fishing. These are big flies for the weighted rod I'm using. It's a windy day. These are very air resistant, and it's hard work just casting them. And you fish for just one chance normally, and maybe that was mine. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, I've hooked a fish, and I think it could be a brook trout. It looks like a nice fish. He came for the fly twice. I just pitched it into the cover, and it was the first really good cast I felt I'd made, where I got the whole presentation perfect, and now I've got a fish on.
Beautiful. Good job, bud. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Real nice yeah, one. Look at that.
It's a beauty.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Ah, this is a barbless hook. Oh, now he's smoking some line. Go, baby, go! But please don't come off.
Nice fish.
Oh, my knees are knocking. This doesn't happen to me very often these days. I've caught a lot of fish all around the planet, but oh, please don't come off. This is a big, beautiful fish. Oh man, look at it.
Beauty.
I've got to keep the pressure on it because it's a barbless hook now, and if I give it slack line, it will get off. Oh man, it's smoking some. Oh, we can go now. Whoa! Wow, it just took about 20-25 meters off in one real high octane burst there. And really only a game fish can do this, and that's the whole point of sport fishing, is that some fish are fun to catch, but they grub around on the bottom and snuffle up bait, and others, well, they're turbocharged. Here she comes. She's coming up to the net now. Yes! Woo-hoo!
Good
well,
job.
I can't believe it.
Good job.
Got one!
That is awesome. That is so awesome. That's a, I'm gonna say 20, 21 incher.
That's nice. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Well, I'm going to put this glove on, which has been soaked in water. That's the kindest thing for the fish. It doesn't do any damage to its scales, and it's wet contacting wet. Really nice idea. The fish is actually in this aerated live well, which is a great idea because he's going to get all the oxygen he needs in there. He's pretty lively. If I can just grab his tail here, let's just have a look at this lad. Now, this is a brook trout, but actually it's a member of the char family. This is actually a char, and char are distributed throughout the northern hemisphere. They love cold water, so you'll find them all the way up into the Arctic Circle, but it is just exquisite. Like all salmonoid fishes, it has beautiful body profile, but look at the markings. It's almost like marble on its back that's just shot through with these dark squiggly lines, giving way to just beautiful spots, a mixture of yellow and orange. There's blue with yellow inside with some of these larger spots. It's just exquisite. And for me, this fish is a dream come true. I love char. And you know, you'll see the big fish in this series. For Babs, her dream was the big crocodile-like muskie. And you might think it's strange that I would favour a fish like this any day of the week over one of the really big predators. And it's just because they're so beautiful. And the correct way to catch this fish for me, the respectful way, the most skillful way, is to catch it on a fly. That is the perfect capture. And that's exactly what I've done. This is my dream come true on this trip. There she goes, and that's the best moment of all, seeing the fish go back like that. It's hard for me to describe how I feel right now. To catch such a beautiful fish on the most difficult and beautiful technique on the fly, it does mean so much to me. And I know I could catch more if I was spin fishing or using a jig, and I don't decry people who choose to fish that way. It's just that for me, if I'd caught that fish on any other method, it wouldn't have felt right. It would have been like getting in the bath with your socks on. It works, but it's just not quite right. And I don't know, call me a purist, call me romantic, whatever you like. I don't really care right now. And I've got to thank this man over here. God, I can't tell you how I feel. I've fished all over the world, and I've fished for everything from sticklebacks to the biggest of the lot, marlin, sharks, you name it. That was a very, very special fish, and it was an important moment for me.
It was my pleasure.
Yeah,
it really was.
Great for me. Thanks, mate. Really appreciate it. It's a lovely place, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I really like this fishing lodge. But we're going to leave it behind now, because today I'm going to take a little detour. I'm going into Thunder Bay. I've got to buy some fly tying materials for a little surprise I've got planned for you later on. Meanwhile, Barbara has got the best draw today because she is going out fishing to catch her first wild brook trout with Gord Ellis. So hopefully we'll both have a good day. Well, here I am in a lovely quiet corner of Thunder Bay, overlooking the awe-inspiring Lake Superior, a body of water that will just blow your mind when you consider its dimensions. If you're an angler or anyone with an interest in water, this is the daddy of them all. It's the biggest of the Great Lakes. It spans both the Canadian and the US shorelines, and it's actually the biggest lake in the world. How big? Absolutely huge. This is not so much a lake as an inland sea. You could drop the country of Wales into Lake Superior over 3 times, and you could comfortably drop in Ireland That's absolutely amazing. And as you'd expect, it's got a very diverse and large population of fishes. Everything from tiny little sculpins and smelts all the way up to the bigger apex predators like pike and walleye. It's even got its own population of salmon within its system, over 70 different species in total. The city of Thunder Bay was founded in 1970, and it was the merging of two towns, Fort William and Port Arthur. So where did the name come from? It's actually quite interesting that when this place was founded, the residents were given the opportunity to vote on a name, and the choices they were given were Lakehead, The Lakehead and Thunder Bay. Which one would you choose? It's obvious, isn't it? So the city of Thunder Bay is founded in 1970, but let's not forget this has been a settlement for over 8,000 years, and a place that's been heavily reliant on resources. You can see the evidence of that on the lake today with the huge container ships that still work there. But Thunder Bay, like many modern cities, is having to reinvent itself. And the way it's doing it is very, very clever, because Thunder Bay is emerging as the gateway to wilderness experiences. There are over 150,000 lakes and streams accessible from Thunder Bay. So it's a great hub to explore the surrounding area. And as a fishing community, we can be very proud of the fact that our tourism money is not only protecting the fish, it's also protecting an amazing habitat.
Okay, Gord, what's the plan for this place?
Okay, well, this place is called Split Rock, and it's a really famous part of the Nipigon River, known for big brook trout. So what we're going to do here is we're fishing current along these really steep rock edges, and what we have is these really nice bucktail flies that look like a smelt or a stickleback, sort of like a fly streamer, but it has a jig head, so you can fish it with spinning gear.
Cool.
And what we're going to do is we're going to cast it up against the current. So cast it out, and then you just let it sink a little bit, and then you work it back very slowly. You don't have to do a lot of jigging, and let it go with the current.
Not on the ground?
Not on the bottom, so not like you're jigging for walleye or jigging for pike. You're letting it swim with the current like it's a smelt or a minnow. And when you get a hit, it's going to be really hard.
So you will feel the bite.
You will feel the bite. There'll be no nibbles. Sometimes you'll feel them sort of, they're like picking at the feathers, but just keep reeling it.
Okay.
And feel for when you get that hard hit, set the hook, and hopefully we'll get a nice big brook trout.
Oh, cool. So maybe we can have a small competition.
If you want to do that, I'm okay with that. My priority for you is to get you on a Nipigon brook trout. But if you want to have a little competition, I'm okay with that.
The first cast is always the best. I hope I do it right.
Yep, that's good.
I feel very good this day. I woke up with a good feeling to fish on a place like this. It's so wonderful and amazing, and I'm really confident. I'm sure we will see fish today.
So this is my home water, Bab, so I'm going to give you a bit of a head start. But once you get your first brook trout, then gloves are off.
At the moment, I enjoy more the wilderness than the fishing. It's not so often. Wow. How many fish did you catch here?
I've caught hundreds of brook trout here over the years.
Hundreds, wow. And how long did you fish here?
I've fished these waters for about 30 years, so quite a long time.
And did you release every fish?
I do. All the brook trout here are wild, and I've let them go mostly for the last 20 years. You are allowed to keep one fish if it's over 22 inches, but I don't personally. I just can't bring myself to do it because they're just so gorgeous. There's just not very many places where you can catch brook trout like this.
I agree with you, yeah. We are here behind the Pine Portage Dam and the Nipigon River. It's really dangerous because the water flows very hard. Oh, we must watch out, don't fall in the water. I wear a life vest. Safety first. Wait. Got one, I got one! Yeah! Oh. Oh, did you see that? Oh, it's. Yeah, one. Oh, you kill me, baby. Give him a little bit time. My heart. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, God. Yes, 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 yes. All right.
Oh, that's a good one.
Look at that amazing
That is
fish.
You can see the beautiful red fins this fish has and the orange belly, very indicative of a Nipigon brook trout, red fin. And then I just love the vermiculations, those worm-like things on its back, and the halos, you know, with the red and the purple around them, the double halos, which the Nipigon fish have. And this is a really deep fish too, Babs. It's just a gorgeous specimen of a Nipigon brook trout. Congratulations.
Oh,
Awesome.
thank you. I'm really, really, really happy now. Great.
Well, Barbara, you caught your first brook trout, wild brook trout today on the Nipigon River system. And I'll make you a bet that the reason that this system has got such fantastically well-conditioned fish is because they're feeding predominantly on one food source, and that is a thing called a sculpin. Now, in the UK, we call it a bullhead. It's a small fish that lives among the stones on the bed of the river, and trout, brook trout, char, love to eat sculpins. Now, quite a long time ago, back in the 1930s, a guy called Don Gapin tried to imitate one of these species by tying a fly called the muddler minnow. It's a classic, a timeless classic, and it was inspired by fishing on the Nipigon River. And what Don came up with was a classic baitfish pattern, which he called a minnow, but actually, when you see it, resembles a sculpin or a bullhead a lot more. And in celebration of that fact, I'm going to tie one right now. Oh, I've got a fish on it. It's just hit the fly on the surface next to the boat. I've never seen anything like it. I just dropped the fly in the water and a fish came up and took it.
We don't start fishing really, so
No, I put the fly over the side, get ready to make a cast, and a really big fish just came up and took it. But I'm struggling to get it off the bottom. What do you think of that, Babs? Here it comes. Look, look, and it is a brook trout.
it is a brook trout, yeah.
Well, I was just about to introduce exactly where we are, and we were getting ready to fish. Babs was taking a few pictures. I flopped the fly over the side of the boat, and the next thing you know, bang, a fish took it right off the top. And this fish is fighting really hard. This is a really, really fluky fish. I don't think I've ever caught a fish as difficult to catch as these fish normally are like that. It's a one in several hundred trips event, and I've got to say I claim very little credit for it. In fact, Gord chose the fly, so the credit should go to him, actually.
Yeah, it's in the net.
Well done, Babs.
Ah, great.
What a start to the day.
What is
That is just nuts. Honestly, I am gobsmacked. It's a really beautiful brook trout. This fish is one of the hardest fish to catch in the world. And it just came up and ate my fly off the surface. I'm not going to argue. What a beautiful fish.
Nice
It's
fish.
a fat one, really fat
Nice
fish.
fish.
the male?
They're biting today.
We're going to put this fish in the live well. Right, now we're in the calm water. I'll take the fish out.
Whoop.
He really wanted the fly, he just took it perfectly. Beautiful fat fish. There, put him in. Well, now I guess I can do what I was going to do before that fish interrupted us, which is basically to tell you that Babs and I still fishing on the Nipigon River. We've got one last short session with Gord before we have to move on in this trip, and we're going up to a place called Lodge 88. We're fishing another wonderful wilderness lake, but before we went we just couldn't resist having a last go at these brook trout, and based on what's just happened I'm really glad we did. Shall we have a look at this fish, because it is amazing. Okay, well, we're going to put the glove on. It's very kind to the fish because this fabric here helps me grip the tail, but because it's wet it doesn't damage the fish. If Michael Jackson was a fisherman he would have a glove like this. Come on then, Shimoda. Ah, there she is. See, now with the glove I can just grip the tail but not damage the fish. Well, it's pretty lively. And that is a magnificent bull trout, really, really deep. Can you just tell me what colours you can see? Because I'm colourblind slightly, and you're
So
better than me.
First, this is a male because you can see it on the orange red down here, and they have red points with purple around there, and this here is really, really beautiful. Looks a little bit like a tiger fish because they have black lines and it's a little bit of brown, so yeah, really lovely, beautiful fish.
Yeah, well described. They are beautiful, aren't they?
So I will fish today with my soft lures with not so heavy weight, because Matt is using his fly, and I think it's good when we fish different techniques and lures. But I'm really, really, really happy with Matt. He had 3 bites now and 1 fish. It's a really great start. nearly I go really angry because I lost so many lures in the water, and I can cast here only behind the boat, and but I try to think positive. Maybe I will eat a banana, a lucky sign for
Not a
me.
girl.
And then I will change my lure to maybe a spoon and try again, never give up.
I totally understand how Babs is feeling, because as a fisherman, we all go through these phases where everything's right with the world, everything seems great, everything seems to work, and then, 10 minutes later, it's like your whole world has come apart, and then you start to question what you're doing, you start to question your own ability, your confidence goes down, and fishing's like that. It is, for me, it is an emotional experience. I think for Babs, it's like she'll come through this and start catching fish. She's a good fisher lady, she's proved that already, and things will come together for her, something will click, and then everything will be right with the world again. That's just how it is.
So I try different lures to find out which lure runs better. I try soft lures, spoons, feeder jig, and now hard baits. And it's only one piece of wood here in this water, and I hooked them. Not my day today, really. I'm happy now because I have my German fly back now.
There's another fish there. I've lost several fish today with the fish coming off on the twisting currents. They shake their heads, and with these barbless hooks, that's the problem. They just shake the hook out, but I'm keeping the line as tight as a bowstring here.
Get it! Super duper!
Great day. Real red letter day, I think.
Matt, here's your lovely fish.
Yeah, not as big as my first one, but a nice fish and a male. Look at this, he's getting his spawning colours. Let's put the glove over his eyes. That'll calm him down a little bit before I put it on. Look at this. You can tell by the red belly that this is a male fish in his pre-spawning colours. And he really did whack that fly. Beautiful, beautiful fish. I'm going to put this one straight back.
Great.
Wait, couldn't even hang on to him there, but he's gone. Well, it wasn't a very ceremonious release, but what an amazing day. I think, for me, the presentation side of the fishing here, the technical side of it, is really right up there. It's about as tough as it gets. Maybe dry fly fishing for these fish would be the next rung up, but you can only do that when you get a big hatch of flies. Other than that, it's technical fishing. Twisting, turning currents, long casts, really difficult. But the gods have smiled on me today. They have, and you've had a bit of a nightmare, I know, and that happens.
Yeah, good
But I'm
job.
glad you saw it. I'm glad you shared it with me, Babs.
Yeah, good job. Well
You
done.
were-
I'm very proud of you. You catch the 2 fish today, and you have a lot of hooks and bites. So
Yeah.
good day for
Yeah, it was my day today,
you. Yeah, it is.
but it'll be yours the next time. Well, for me, this wild brook trout fishing has been the highlight of the journey so far. Really technical fishing and great fun when you get it right. But the journey continues, and who knows what adventures await us at the next place. We're zipping back down the Nipigon system now at high speed, and at the other end we've got a 4-hour drive followed by another short flight on a float plane before landing at another wilderness lodge. I don't know what's going to happen there, but I can tell you this, I'm really looking forward to it.
Our days at Nipigon River were very special. Since I was a young girl, I've wanted to see the northern lights. And as darkness fell, the aurora lit up the skies over Lake Superior. The light danced all night, and I didn't want the evening to end. Then came the fishing. It was incredible to land my first ever brook trout, and it put up a crazy fight as I tried to get it into the boat. Thanks Nipigon River, and thanks to Gord Ellis.
I'm Matt Hayes. I haven't got much in common with Barbara Kijewski, really. She's German and I'm English. She's a girl, I'm a boy. She's quite young and I'm, I suppose, a bit oldish. But we both share a passion for fishing. And that's why we've decided to go on the ultimate fishing road trip together to Ontario. Well, now we're ready for the next leg of our fantastic Ontario adventure. We've arrived in the town of White River, which is a small town with a population of about 1,000, but that's way too many people for us. We're going to a remote outpost in a place called Esnagi Lake, which is absolutely huge. It's 27 miles long. It's got all sorts of fish in it. It's got pike, it's got walleye, it's got brook trout.
And perch.
And perch as well. Everything you could possibly want. The only snag is there's actually only 2 ways into it, and one of them is by rail, and the trains aren't running today, and the other way is by car. No, actually it's not, it's by float plane. Bad luck, Babs. Hello there. Well, it's a bit of a tricky one here because I really enjoy float planes. I love the view and the whole sensation, and these old float planes have got so much character, but that's not much comfort to poor old Babs because she's really, really nervous of flying, and the pilots warned us it could be a slightly bumpy flight, so we'll be all right though. Okay, just breathe, 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 Barbara, breathe. Don't forget to breathe. You'll be all right.
The fish is waiting for me.
Just think about all the pike and the walleye and the perch and the brook trout all waiting for you at the other end, and you're going over them in your boat and your sonar's going beep 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 because there's loads of fish underneath, and you're casting your lure down and down and down goes your lure, and it's right in the face of a huge pike and it goes boom like that. How about that? That's great, isn't it? You know, these planes have been flying for over half a century and they haven't crashed yet, so I think they're pretty reliable.
Did you saw all the lakes and the waters and the thousands of millions of trees?
So many lakes, all different shapes, and creeks and streams and small lakes and big lakes. It is just a jigsaw puzzle of land and lakes.
Yeah, and while we're landing, eagles flew with us.
Wow, I didn't see that. No, I was looking the wrong way, obviously. That's great.
Great.
Yeah, anyway, but that all out of your mind now, because all you've got to think about is fishing. There you
Right.
go. Ah, the wilderness, look at that. Ooh. You know the footballers, they kiss the ground. Anyway, we're here, you can forget about it all. All you've got to worry about now is pike, walleye, etc.
Now
etc.
starts fishing!
Exactly, so
Yay.
you'll be fine. We all have our crosses to bear, and you're mine.
Okay guys, these are some main key spots that we're gonna hit. We're mainly targeting some underwater shoals, and they're pretty much on the top of them because the water's pretty murky, the weeds are starting to die, and we're gonna be hitting some massive shells.
So basically, when you say shoals, John, you're talking about underwater islands or humps, plateaus, whatever you want to call them, but it's subsurface structure.
Yes, exactly. It's mainly just underwater islands, and they're pretty much sitting on the top of it because the water's so murky that their eyes aren't too pressured into them to make them go deep. So they just stay up top, and they're feeding on the minnows.
So where will we find these underwater plateaus and islands?
Well, there's a couple all the way up here. There actually is a few of them throughout the lake, but the ones up north have been a little bit better. And there's one up here, and then it actually has a bunch of big drop-offs on each side, and it goes about 36 feet on each side, which is a good escape route for the fish to go when it gets really hot in the afternoons. And but the mornings, they really like to feed on the top. And there's one up here, and then there's one not too far south from it, and they're really big. They're really, really big.
That's great.
And where you caught your big walleye?
My big walleye was caught just up the lake a little bit, just off of a big sand bank. It's all sand bottom, and it was about 20 feet of water. Yeah, it was a big walleye. It was about 32 inches long and 14 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great.
That's a big fish.
All right.
Well, we appreciate you helping us. We've got
Yeah.
to try and find the fish, but this is a real good head start, I think.
Absolute.
I think
Thank
so. Thank
you.
you. It's been fun so far.
Great.
A beautiful morning, a little bit spooky.
Beautiful. Well, here we are. It seems like we've been going for absolutely ages, but this is where John, the guide, recommends, and we've been motoring for about 40 minutes in all this mist and fog, and it seems like another world. In fact, we've been going so long, I'm not so sure we're not back on the Nipigon River, but we certainly have boldly gone where no man or German lady has gone before. Esnagi Lake's actually a very interesting place. Prior to the 1950s, this was a huge river system, a complex network of free-flowing rivers, and then in the late 50s they actually dammed it and created this enormous lake which has still got current. It's got an average depth of about 30 feet and depths down to 100 feet, and in fact the lake itself is 27 miles long, so it's a pretty mind-blowing piece of water, and it's a huge labyrinth and complex of bays and islands and channels. So navigating your way around here really does take some doing. It's a huge expanse of water to catch fish in, And that's why you need some inside info, and I'm pretty glad that we spoke to our guide before we came out. Now at the moment Babs and I are just prospecting for the fish, and she made a good point earlier on that the great thing about this vertical jig fishing style is that you're actually keeping your lure down in the hunting zone all the time instead of having to cast around and wait for it to drop to the bottom. So it's certainly got that going for it. But of course it is a vast area of water and it's not easy to find fish here.
Now I will do really German things. Look, Matt, here's my towel. This
on your
is
chair.
my chair. Do you see that? My chair.
Oh, there's a fish.
Oh, fish on!
Oh, I think it's a monster. Oh, this could be the champion's one. Oh, it's a pike. Oh, and he's jumped off.
Oh, got one. Oh, got one.
Well done, Babs.
Yay! It's a massive, huge fish.
Ah,
Oh,
I can
look
tell
at that.
by the bend in your... Oh, another monster.
A monster fish.
Wow.
Look,
You've made me jealous.
with a monster.
Yes.
Look at that. Really monster.
Well, but it's a walleye.
It is a walleye. And you see, the walleye looks a little bit different than on the lake of the woods and the other lake.
You're absolutely right. Babs, do you ever fish with two? Because you're very competitive, so like up, you know, like this, kind of. You could do that, couldn't you?
I
You could
wish
do that,
I
couldn't
can
you?
fish with my legs, so I can fish four rods. You make the sonar dance to pray for the sonar. Sonar, sonar, show me where the fish is.
And the sonar never lies, does it? Oh, there's a fish. Not a very big one. Oh, look at this.
Oh, no.
It's a very, very small walleye. Look at that. This fish is very similar to our zander back at home. For a start off, you can see that it's got the double dorsal fin. You've got the spiny dorsal here that's almost perch-like, and then the softer one at the back. And that tells me that this fish is basically a zander, even though it's called walleye here. Or maybe our zander's a walleye, doesn't matter. If you look at the coloration of this fish, it's very interesting. It's much more somber than the fish that we caught in Esnagi Lake or on Lake of the Woods, which were dark with very pronounced spots. This fish is more kind of olives and browns with silvery pearlescent sides. And that is really a typical feature of a fish that you find in more chocolate coloured water. The fish basically blend in with their surroundings and adopt the coloration of the water so that as predators they can ambush their prey fish species. And I find this fascinating because looking at this fish here, I'm almost looking at one of our zander. There's a bite.
Great.
I don't think it's a monster, but it's a bit bigger than the last. Oh, well, not really. Not
Feels
really.
bigger.
It's a little baby one. But this is a nice method to fish. It's very sensitive, very accurate, and it appeals to Barbara's sense of precision. and technical prowess, and she loves it because you've got to do everything correctly and very precisely. Okay, little walleye. Oh, look at that. I don't think it's a huge one, but it's... Ooh, babe. The jig of champions must not be relinquished lightly, Miss Babs. This is a proper walleye. It's a nice one.
Yeah, it is.
Yay! Okay, Babs, bring it in. Oh, the jig's fallen out in the net.
Oh, great.
That was lucky, wasn't it?
This is a champion jig. I want it back.
You're not having it. Give it to me.
Give me.
It's the jig of champions, not champions.
Oh, that's a lovely fish.
Now this is, yeah, I think this is a much better example of a walleye, isn't it? I mean,
Golden points.
beautiful gold. Well, just like the zander, the walleye's got this distinctive double dorsal fin. The spiny, pointy dorsal at the front, and then the softer, almost grayling-like dorsal at the back. The colour's beautiful in this one. It's got really nice, bright gold and yellow spots, and some really interesting marks around the face. But look at these.
Look at the teeth.
These are proper fangs in here, and that shows you that this is a very efficient
You want to bite me?
predatory fish. Proper fangs inside there, and they're really sharp, let me tell you. So that's a proper walleye and a very nice way to catch it. Very precise, very enjoyable, and I'm pleased with that. Well, things have got a little bit desperate and competitive in the boat. I was doing so well because I had a gold jig head and Babs didn't have one, and now she's found one, so that's all right. But what she didn't know early on was that I'd actually got my plastic bait, my little rubber minnow, had got a kink in its tail. But then she spotted it, and now she's even copied the kink. And to make things even worse, I've just had a big pike, ran in, took my jig away, just bit through the line, ran off with it, and now I'm out of the game. And Miss Babs is on the hot. She's pimped out a lure, she's got a gold jig head, there's not another one in the boat. It's game over for me.
Wanna have a look at my only one golden head jig? Here we are. I pimped my lure here with a cut inside. I have more play in my tail. And look at this gold net. It's glimmering in the light. Woohoo! So I fish now a pink lure.
You got the pink one on?
Yeah. Ah, yeah, got one.
Well done, Babs.
Oh, this. Oh, great! And
Is it a
Matt,
good one?
it is.
It's not bad, or it could be a pike.
No, it is a pike.
It's a pike, I
no,
think.
No, it's. Do you see that?
Yes, it's a pike. Oh,
Ooh! Whoopsala!
oh, oh, oh.
Jump in the net now!
Yeah.
Great!
There you are, Babs. Nice. Nice little pike.
Yeah. Oh, this is a lovely pike. Do you see the points on the side? Look, the fins. The fins have. Look.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Like a tiger.
Like a tiger. This is a tiger pike.
Well, so far, I think for our first session, we've done pretty well, really. We're really trying to find the areas of structure where you get these underwater humps and mounds, and that seems to be where the walleye are hanging out. We've had some good adventures, caught a few walleye, including that really nice one I had earlier on. I've had an encounter with a big pike which took my jig, a couple of other bangs, and then Babs has just caught, you know, a small pike, but really nice, deep, very nicely conditioned pike. So I'm pretty pleased with the way things are going. We'll head in soon for a bit of a break and then maybe back out here again this evening for a little bit more action.
We're just cooking shore lunch here up on shore by Lodge 88. This is all the fish that we caught today, so we're gonna enjoy it pretty soon. And getting up there.
Well, this morning the conditions were perfect for fishing for walleye. It was really foggy and all that grey cloud, just the sort of low light conditions that make the fish bite. But then the sun got really high in the sky, so it was time to come in, take a break, enjoy the hospitality of the lodge. And now, as you can see, we're coming into evening. The sun's low in the sky and it's absolutely perfect to go out and see if we can nail another nice walleye.
Oh yeah.
Nice one, Mrs. Goldjig.
Fish on. Oh, it's a pike.
It's a pike.
Ooh, it's a crazy pike. Come in my net.
Lovely.
Great. It's not the walleye, but
Pike is pike.
pike is pike. Mike the pike. Oh, wait. Mr. Crazy Pike. Wait. All right. It's a lovely pike. Here in this lake are thousands of pike. Perfect spot for sports fishermen and women.
Well, in this box there's all manner of goodies. Different size soft plastic baits, some with tails like paddles, others with split tails. And somewhere in this box lies the key to catching a big walleye. And I'm going to go for this lad here. Think lucky and you'll be lucky, Babs.
So when the sun is down, it's getting dark really quick and really dark. And then it's very difficult to find the way back.
Don't you worry, Miss Babs. I've laid a trail of breadcrumbs. And as long as the ducks haven't eaten them, we'll be fine.
All right. We have done really well. We caught a lot of fish. We are really happy.
Yes, but I've got an idea that could make tomorrow very, very interesting. A little surprise for you, Barbara.
One surprise?
Mm.
Oh, I hate surprise. Give me a tip.
No, it wouldn't be a surprise if I told you.
Please give me a tip.
All right, you know all those lures that you've been looking at today and you've found out the ones that work, well, forget about them.
Really?
Yeah, because you're not going to use them tomorrow.
That's a bad tip. I can't work with that. All right. Shall we go home?
Yep,
All
let's
right.
go home.
Great.
Well, a good day.
Oh yeah, it
Really
was.
enjoyed it. And a beautiful end. Not so many fish this evening, but, well, tomorrow's another day.
Yeah.
Well, the railways have played a hugely significant role in Canadian history. The railway got here in the 1880s. Just imagine trying to build a line in those days across all of this wilderness. But they did manage it, and amazingly enough, the railway actually resulted in the development of White City from settlement to town. And as far as this place is concerned, it too owes its prosperity to the railway itself, because Lodge 88 is located on Marker 88 on the old railway line, which, as you can see, is still very much running today. Now, there are two ways to get to fish Esnagi Lake. One of them is to come in by float plane, as we did, but the other way is to do it the old-fashioned way, on the railway, the Canadian Pacific. And I think there's something rather lovely about that. So this is the big surprise. You know, in the old days, when the First Nation native people were fishing, they couldn't just pop down to the shop and buy the latest baits and lures, you know. They had to make things for themselves. Now, whereas this isn't strictly quite that, I think it's in the spirit of it. So the idea is here that Barbara and I are going to make some baits or lures that we've got to then take out onto the lake and fish for pike and walleye with. So here we are. I'm going to tie some flies. Babs is going to make some kind of subaquatic rat kind of thing. Don't know what it is, but it looks like it might work. And then we're going to go out fishing with them. So how good is that? Righto then, Babs. Let's do it.
Yeah, right.
Well, I'll show you mine if you'll show me yours. Okay, this is my second effort. I'm going in reverse order now. It's made out of chinchilla strip and some rabbit strip at the front, and it's got a really wiggly tail, which I think should appeal to the walleyes and the pike. I've put a little guard in there to stop the tail wrapping around the hook, and all that fur will puff out when I fish it on the fly rod in the water. If it's got a downside, rabbit strip soaks up loads of water, so it puffs out nicely in the water, but it's going to be really heavy to cast. So that's my first effort.
All right, looks good.
Thank you. This is my second one. Again, I've got a few worries about it's very heavy to cast on a fly rod, this. Fly fishing for pike is difficult anyway, but I love this fly, but I'm not sure about how much I'll be able to cast it. It's kind of a fly meets a wiggly worm, so I've got that nice little wiggly tail to draw them in. which is articulated. It's on a second hook that swings at the back. So there'll be loads of movement in this fly, loads of movement from the marabou here. Downside, not very resilient to the pike's teeth. However, I've only got to catch one fish on it, so that's probably okay. And then I've added in some bucktail and a little bit of hackle here just to create that kind of perchy, yellow perchy looking kind of thing. So there it is, it's a fly meets a wiggly worm.
I'm very interesting if you catch any fish with that.
Yeah, fire tiger. See? That's what it's called, the colour, fire
Right,
tiger.
okay, I show you my lures.
Okay.
First, you're laughing all the time about my mouse, but I show the mouse, the woman in the kitchen, and she was screaming very loud because she's thinking it's a real mouse. I will try to catch a pike with it. I throw it out. I think it will run nearly a little bit under the surface, maybe on the surface. Have a look.
I think that looks like, for me, that's like a mutant toilet brush.
Okay.
But I think it will work.
It will work, and I will definitely catch a fish with that, only to see you smiling.
Okay.
I will catch the biggest one.
I
This
can't
is
wait.
my plan. No. And then I build
A bucktail jig.
a jig. It's with a little bit heavy on. And you remember the golden color on so good the last day.
Yeah.
And I put little bit goldens inside, and hopefully I catch a walleye with that.
You see, you've got weight there because this is a weighted jig head.
Yeah.
But for you, that's good. To me, that's the enemy. With a fly rod,
Yeah, it's not
the heavier it
possible.
is, the harder it is to
Yeah.
cast. But for you, that weight there is
I will,
great.
Yeah, I will throw out with my spinning lures and drop on the ground a little bit. Yeah.
Cool.
The walleye will love that lure.
Yeah, I think they will. That's a winner. For me,
Maybe.
that's a winner.
All right. So
Okay, well, I think it's going to be tough on the old fly rod, but especially with the weight of these flies,
Yeah.
but I'm prepared to give it a go.
all right. All right.
And I look forward to seeing the mutant toilet brush at work. Babs's bionic toilet brush.
Upsala. So now I test my lures.
Don't feel too sorry for Babs. She might not have fly tying skills, but let me tell you, the stuff that she's created because she uses spinning rods will be much, much easier to cast. My problem is the flies look amazing, but you need very advanced fly casting skills just to be able to get them in the water. So in some respects, I've made this so much harder for myself. Shot myself in the foot a bit.
That's funny.
So we're both going to fish at the same time, and John is guiding Babs, so that's a good advantage. He's one of the experts down here, and we're going to fish similar areas.
Nat, you called it toilet? What?
Toilet brush, yeah.
No, I have another name.
Oh,
This name of the lure is Little Matt.
little Matt.
Yeah, it's Little Matt, not. All right. Make a little bit wet, so maybe I can cast longer distance. All right.
Well, it's not the easiest thing in the world to cast, but I'm getting it out there and certainly casting it far enough to hook a pike or a walleye. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere, really. I think with the fly, you're often best to cover and structure that you can cast to. And I've started off with a floating fly line, which probably won't get as deep as Babs is going to get with her creation. But, you know, I've only got to catch one fish on it to declare it a success. So it's not that bad.
Got one. No, I got one.
No, she's got one. Look at that. And it didn't take
Look
long.
At that, my mouse work. It's only the third cast. Oh, and I got a pike. Look at that, Matt. I can't believe. No, I believe it. Right. Oh, great. Look at, oh, wait. Here we go. My mouth worked really good.
Great result, Babs. I told you it would work.
What do you say now, Matt?
I say it looks worse than ever,
But it's worked.
but it works.
It was only the third cast. It's sinking slowly down and catch pike.
Great result, well done.
Thank you. I'll leave it back.
I told you it would be fun.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Well, Babs is over the moon at having caught a fish on that lure, and I knew she would be. She really loves the technical approach to fishing, and that's great, but sometimes fishing is all about having some fun with it, and that was the whole idea of getting her to make those lures. And now she's discovered that actually sometimes even small fish can give you a really big thrill. Great for her. I might change to my, oh, there's a fish. Yeah.
You got
it.
one?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yippee!
Woohoo! I'm in on the Mutant Ninja Turtle, a hybrid fire tiger, green, wiggly worm and feather combination.
Great.
There he is. Well, I'm not quite as ecstatic as Babs because I think it would be unseemly for me to be that way, but I'm pretty pleased with myself. It's only a small pike, but we've proved once again that these things can work. And there he is, a pike on the Ninja Turtle. How about that? Back you go, lad. Yeah, that's a better fish.
Great. Yeah, man.
Oh, that was a really good surface attack. And it's taken the Lodge 88. Slightly bigger fish than the last one, that's for sure. Got to get the line on the reel. Come on, come on, come on. Not sure whether it's a walleye or a pike, but it's got to be a pike with this amount of strength. Well, this is hooked on the second of my two flies, and it's a nice hefty pike. That one's nailed the Lodge 88. Up until now we've caught quite small pike, but this one's a nice one. It's not finished yet, I'll tell you. Well, it really hammered the fly. It just took it in a boil of angry water, as if someone had turned on about 10 washing machines underneath the surface. Look at that, the fly's right down its throat. Now it's just dislodged it slightly, but that's a lovely pike. Proper old croc. Okay. Now I've got to get the leader. See if I can chin this fish out. There he is. Yes, that's a nice pike. Nice, thick set, solid pike. Beautiful. Very nice fish. Beautifully marked. Really solid fish. Probably weighs about 10, 11 pounds, that pike. Maybe 12. It's quite short, but it's really fat and very wide across the back. Well, there's the fly called Lodge 88, right in the scissors, the best place to hook a pike. And he wasn't coming off, that's for sure, but the hook's out now. And there it is. Let's put it back. Well, that second fish took the second of the flies that I tied, the Lodge 88, so I've now caught on both patterns, and that was a really nice epic battle, a wonderful take, a really good strong scrap on this 9-weight rod, and I'm really pleased about that. Now I can relax a bit, but I think there's more to come, more fish to be caught.
I got one! Yay! I got one! On cute Susan! Please land first. Oh! Yeah,
Well done, Bab.
it's a walleye!
Great work.
Oh, look at that. I caught on cute Susan a walleye. It's not the biggest one, but it is a walleye. I feel very good now. This is my second self-made lure, and yeah, I'm happy, really.
Well, what an amazing morning it's been. It's my last morning here at Lodge 88. Babs is back at the lodge getting some rest before we go on to the next leg. But I'm so glad that I came out today. The light show this morning was truly spectacular. When I arrived at the boat dock, everything was shrouded in mist. And as we've travelled down the lake, the mist's been burnt off by the sun. It sent literally shards of light, scattering the mist and lighting up the landscape. And you know, I had a good day yesterday. I caught a couple of nice fish on my newly created flies, and I think there's more to come before I have to move on to Sault Ste. Marie. And that's an interesting place in its own right. There's going to be some great fishing there, a lot of it from the shore. So both Babs and I are really looking forward to that. But for now, one last cast. I've just seen a big fish hit the surface out there, and I'm curious to know if it will take the fly. It could have been a big pike. It was obviously attacking something, probably a small bait fish which it was chasing, and as it chased it up to the surface, the fish tried to escape and the pike made a grab for it. It was definitely something substantial. I knew I'd get a bite there. I was getting really close to the bottom with this sinking line, and I've still got the Lodge 88 fly on. Seems to be the one that they like. This is a great way to catch pike. You really get all the fun of the fight, and you see the pike for what it is, a wonderful sport fish. Look at that. Ooh, he really wanted that fly. Look, he swallowed it. Beautiful. And there's the fly. Just nestling in. Look at those teeth. The interesting thing with pike is these are the teeth that do the damage on the front edge. But back in here you've got these lines of backward facing teeth. Small, almost Velcro like. And once a fish goes in there, it's very difficult for it to get out because they grip it. It's really, really rough, and it holds on to the prey. It's the perfect predator. It's a really seamless day. The sun's up now, it's really warm, and there's not a ripple on the lake really. And it's amazing, you know, sitting here looking at this incredible landscape. The thing that strikes me the most is that there are no unnatural noises at all. And in the UK, we've got noise pollution at an incredible level. And to come here and experience this is pretty special.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Bob, for the safe flying. I feel very good. I enjoy this fly very much. Thank you.
Perfect day, eh?
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
It was great to discover the wilderness again at Esnagi Lake. The plane ride in the strong wind and turbulence was very frightening. But once we're on land, all my fears disappeared. The lodge was like home, and the lake full of hungry predatory fish. This gave me the chance to try and make a fish lure for the first time in my life. Matt is an expert at making flies and lures, so I had everything to prove. There were lots of joke about my designs, but they soon stopped when little Matt caught a pike on my third cast. Little Matt is now retired and will hang on my wall forever.
I'm Matt Hayes. I haven't got much in common with Barbara Kijewski really. She's German and I'm English. She's a girl, I'm a boy. She's quite young and I'm, I suppose, a bit oldish. But we both share a passion for fishing. And that's why we've decided to go on the ultimate fishing road trip together to Ontario. Well, it's the final leg of mine and Barbara's tremendous fishing journey across Ontario. And we're a little bit sad about that, but it's already got off to a flying start because just a few minutes up the road this morning, we've seen a bear. So how good is that? We're on our way now to Rice Lake. It's pretty much our ultimate destination, and it's a place that's particularly well known for its carp fishing. So with any luck, we'll go out on a high. Well, what a drive, and absolutely, yeah, really miserable weather, wasn't it, on the way over? It was pouring with rain, just horrible, but it stopped raining. The forecast for tomorrow is blue skies, so this is our apartment and it's right next to the lake. We're fishing here at Elmhurst Resort on Rice Lake, and in fact the Elmhurst family history with Rice Lake goes back a long way. It all began in the year 1818 when King George IV was so delighted with James Elmhurst's role in the Battle of Trafalgar with Napoleon that he gave him 1,000 acres of land, crown land, on Rice Lake itself. And today Rice Lake really is a beautiful resort. The Elmhurst lodges are located just a stone's throw from the water's edge, and in Rice Lake you'll find a tremendous variety of species, including of course the carp that we're fishing for. It really couldn't be more convenient after all of that wilderness fishing that we've had so far.
Oh, it's a zombie boilie. Look that.
Scary.
Yeah, it is. The fruitiest temptation since boilies began.
No, then we cannot fail. Failure is not an option.
So thank you for the lure. For the boilie. No.
Now listen, you do realise this is fishing bait. Not for squirrels or chipmunks, but for
right.
fish.
And
okay?
not for me.
No, not for you.
All right.
The nice thing about Rice Lake is that it's very conveniently situated if you're on a family holiday and you want some sightseeing thrown in. Toronto's quite nearby, and so too are the magnificent world famous Niagara Falls. Now the thing about the Niagara Falls is that they're actually split into 3 crests. The well-known American and Horseshoe crests and the lesser known Bridal Veil. But for me, the most staggering thing about Niagara is that every second of every day, 6 million cubic feet of water flow over the edge. Well, this is Rice Lake and it's a really big sheet of water. It's got a lot of carp in it and I'm pretty optimistic that we're going to catch some fish. But these are fish that just aren't fished for ordinarily. Over here in Canada, carp are not regarded as one of the premier sport fish, so they're pretty much left to their own devices. So they're not used to artificial baits. And we've been baiting this area up now since yesterday evening with some maize, which is a bait that we know that carp will accept almost instantly. And I can see by the way the weed is getting rooted up in front of this platform here that there are fish feeding in the general area. But I think it's going to take some time for the fish to root up enough weed for us to be able to present the bait properly to them. Well, we've brought with us a bit of the modern gadgetry. These electronic bite alarms will bleep if a fish picks up the bait and runs away with it. They're also very useful to tell me if there are carp in the area. I'm fishing deliberately in a way that if carp begin to root up the weed in front of me, they'll probably swim through the line and they'll cause the alarm to bleep like that. If I get a take, the alarm will make an altogether different noise, a very loud single tone as the fish screams off with the rig. But it's really useful to me to be able to fish for what we call line bites, and then I'll know that there are fish feeding in the area.
Look, I have a small present for the carp. So I put my weight and my hook inside a P4A bag with a little bit corn, so I can be sure that when I cast out that everything falls to the bottom, and I have some corns on my hook bait and everything's fine. I have no problems with the weed.
Out in front of me there's a lot of weed, and there are clear patches in among the pieces of weed which hopefully will become larger as the fish get in and root up some of the bait. They'll actually clear the weed out, but you can see the problem. This thick weed here basically disguises the bait. It just gets lost in these clumps of thick weed. So I'm looking for the sparser patches or the pieces of bottom where the fish have been in and rooted up all the weed in their attempts to get at the maize. so they can actually see my bait. That's the real object of the exercise. So by casting around with my rig, I can feel for the clear patches, and that's very important for me to find some decent clear spots to present the bait on.
This is a dog of success. One rod is already inside the water, and now the second one. So I have to feed a small area right there, and I try to put my hook bait right there. A moment, you see that? All right. Perfect. I will sit here.
Carp fishing is more often than not a waiting game, and that gives your mind time to wonder. Not always a good thing, because the longer you go without getting any action, the more the mind begins to turn. Am I in the wrong place? Are the fish here? Is my bait wrong? Is the presentation wrong, etc.? But I know that there aren't a lot of carp in front of me feeding on this baited area, because if there were, they'd be swimming through my line as they mill around tearing up the weed, and I'd be getting lots of bleeps on these bite alarms that tell me that the fish are there. So I know they're not here at the moment. I've made quite a lot of disturbance, of course, casting around trying to find the clear area, so that could push the fish out temporarily. But the biggest mind game of all is when you look at the huge lake, an expanse of water in front of us. It really is a needle in a haystack to find the carp, and that's the bit that really gets to you. Will they come?
Oh, it's a really interesting information. What I get is that a lot of people, they live directly in the near of the lake and have a dock like this. So they throw corn in the water, and then the carp come, eat the corn and the wheat, and the people can swim without wheat. They feed the carp, but they don't fish on carp. So this is really perfect for me, because I fish with corns.
Well, that's my first take. It's on the further out rod, and already I can feel that this fish is in weed, so I've got to try and keep its head up and above this dense weed. It's coming through, but there's a lot of weed out there. Well, there's a lot of work to do yet, Babs. Fish is right in the weed. I've got to keep its head up, try and just bring it in over the top. It's out on the surface at about 30 metres out. Can you see it?
Yeah.
It's not a very nice way to play fish. It's all brute force and ignorance, but it does work. It doesn't really know what's going on yet because its eyes are covered with weed, so it's confused. That may be to our advantage.
Oh, great. Oh, I see. Oh, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful fish. Right. I got it.
Woo!
Super
First
good.
fish?
Yeah, absolute. So hold the net.
I will.
I make ready the...
It's not a huge one, but it's our
It is
first
a
Ontario carp.
Absolute.
What happens is when the fish's eyes get covered in weed, they're very disorientated, and it did me a favour. It didn't actually fight that much, so I was able to bring it in through that heavy weed. So that's a result.
Have a look at the first carp.
Yes.
Oh, it's a beauty.
It's a very nicely coloured fish.
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
Oh, wow. It looks
Almost
so
like a wild carp.
golden.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Not very well hooked, but there it is.
Oh, wow. It's amazing.
Yeah. That's our first Ontario carp. Very different to the carp that we catch in Europe, which rely heavily on anglers' baits. They tend to be much heavier, deeper fish. This is a long, lean fighting machine, a wild fish that lives in a very sunny place, and you can tell that by the colours of the carp. It's almost pewter and mahogany. This is an interesting thing, Babs. Look at this.
It looks like
it's actually got a
herpes.
huge tumour on its lip there. It hasn't stopped it from feeding, but fish do get these, you know, in the wild. They get all kinds of scrapes and bumps, and just like humans, they get abnormalities, and this one's got that. But anyway,
It's a beauty.
well, its mother loves it. It's our first Ontario carp, and we've got to be pleased about that. Okay, let's put this fish back, Babs.
Perfect, yeah.
It's a hot day, don't want it out of the water too long. The way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to lower it down like this in the net. It's a very long, lean fish. Originally in the UK, our strain of carp were called wild carp, and they were this sort of body shape. They were common carp like this one is, fully scaled, and they were much longer, leaner shape. Selective breeding has produced a lot of the deeper bodied carp shapes that are more familiar today, but this is a wild carp, and I'm just going to turn it round and let him swim away.
Bye-bye. Perfect.
Thank you.
I'm really happy for you.
Well, I'm happy for me too.
Cool, the first
I'm
carp.
happy for both of us, really, because it means that we've got some fish in front of us.
Absolute.
That's good news.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and you cast in the back from the
I
weed
cast,
bed?
I cast over, just over the edge of it.
All right.
Well, I explained to you that carp fishing is all about trapping. And this is just one of the gadgets that we use back at home. The ledger weight, the hook and the bait are actually contained in this bag of maize. But the bag is made from PVA. And basically it's a substance that's used originally in surgical procedures. Liquids won't melt it, oil-based liquids won't, but water does. So what actually happens is when this hits the water, it sinks slowly, the PVA bag dissolves into nothing, and my hook bait is sitting among a nice pile of maize. And my tactic there was to cast this bag just over the edge of the weed into a clearer area, and the fish just came rooting along, saw a nice little pile of maize and hoovered up my bait. That was the winning tactic. Right, I've got the PVA bag ready to cast, and I've also got here a bucket of maize. And I figure that any fish that have been feeding in this weedy area that are located a little bit further out will now know what maize is. They'll realise it's an edible food source. So if I put one of these little piles of bait out there on its own, the chances are that a carp that's swimming around looking for a bit of food will see this and just take it. I don't need to bait heavily around this arrangement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast this out a little bit further, and then with the catapult I'm going to flick out some loose grains of maize and scatter them around that area so that the fish get used to browsing around and picking up odd little bits of maize.
Fish again!
I'm letting the fish fight further out in the lake this time. It's much clearer out there, so if it gets a little bit tired, then I can roll it over on the surface. As long as I keep its head up, I've got a chance of getting it in through the weed. Here it comes. Now it's moving. Now you've got to get right on top of them. Oh, it's a nice big tail on this one.
Ooh.
Look at this lad go. Keep a lot of side pressure on it, and that will keep the fish off balance so that it can't get its head down into that weed. Here she comes. It's a nice one.
Oh, it's a nice one. Perfect.
well done,
Here
Babs.
we are.
Woohoo!
Oh, wow. It's a heavy one.
That's a nice one.
Matt. Wow.
Well, you know, I've caught a few carp in my time. What can I say?
But such a beautiful fish.
Yeah, that's a really perfect looking carp, actually.
Absolutely. And never hooked before.
For sure. Right, this one's probably close to about 20 pounds. It's quite a thick set, chunky fish, really wide across its back. And it's really nicely coloured. It's got those deep kind of mahogany colours, the real brassy sides, dark back, proper old warrior. Really nice carp, this one.
Okay, I don't catch a carp until yet, and I must change something. So I organized a boat and paddle out, try to find a place without weed. I set there a marker in the water and I feed a little bit directly on this place. And then I paddle back and cast directly to the marker, and then I have my hook lure on the feeding ground. So, this is the place where I fish now. There's no weed inside the water. I feed a little bit, and hopefully I will get a carp now. Fish on, fish on! I got my first carp. Oh, I'm so exciting. Look, I danced with the carp. All right, he's still here. So Matt, you're ready for landing my first carp?
I'm ready.
Oh, he's not ready. All right. It drives me crazy, look. Whoop. Yoo-hoo! Yuppie!
Well done, Babs.
I feel very, very happy. Oh, thank you.
Your boating tactic worked.
Oh, look at that. All right. It's not a big one, but it is a beauty. Look, this beautiful fish. Oh, I'm really happy now. This is my first carp here from Ontario Rice Lake.
Well, there'll be a 40-pounder out there somewhere, Babs. This isn't it, by the way. It's a nice carp, that one.
Oh, there goes bigger and bigger.
Yeah, it's a nice fish. Beautiful fish, actually.
Wow.
That's a really nice carp. Not yet, Babs. Here he comes. Well done.
Oh, wow.
That's the best of the day.
Well done.
Very nice thick fish.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Oh, this is a big one.
Well, that's a nice carp. That's over 20 pounds. 2 pieces of plastic corn. And there it is. This is a big, thick-set fish. Look at the size of its head and the width across its back. You could put a saddle on that and ride off into the lake.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you want to try?
No, not yet.
I'll take my glasses off so I can have a good look at it.
It's a massive head.
Yeah, really big head.
Wow.
Thick set fish.
Ooh.
Very nice carp. Look at that.
And I
Beautiful
put
fish.
the net away. Sorry. Great.
Really nice fish. Not huge, but probably about 20 pounds, I would say.
Come on, it's huge. It's really beautiful. Look, the colour of the fin. Oh.
It's a very nice carp. Very nice condition. I think you've got to
gotta
take,
run.
Babs. You go.
1 minute before Matt catch a fish, and now this is my time. Oh, it's amazing. The fish is now in the weed, and I feel, I hope it's not away. Lovely pleasure.
It's all going on.
I have a little bit to wait. Okay, try to make a little bit more pressure. Only a little bit. Not too hard. Oh, I go really crazy. All right, let's go. Ooh.
Nice fish.
Oh. Go in the net, please. Go in the net.
You've got to draw it over Babs.
Oh.
When it's heads up, just draw it backwards now.
Yeah, I can't go backward. Because the duck is ending now. Let.
Got it.
Oh.
So glad that didn't come off. Thank the Lord for that.
Oh. Wait, can you change that? Wow. Whoa. Here we go. Oh.
Now that's a proper one.
Oh, that's a proper. What a fish. What a... Oh. So. Okay, I want to dance with a fish. Look, this beautiful. The color are perfect. Gold and brown and oh. Yeah, thank you. Very quick. Oh, come on, my fishy. That's it. Oh. Woo. Come on, this side is the entry. No. Wait. Yes. Oh wow, it was emotional roller coaster. Up and down, up and down. Thanks, Matt. That you share this moment with me.
Well done. At last. Good end to the day. Well, I think that's a fantastic way to end our Ontario trip. It's not quite over yet. I'm planning a little musky fishing trip this afternoon. It's probably too bright and too hot to stand any chance of success, but hey, I might as well go out doing something that I enjoy. And Babs, well, she's going to take a little trip to Niagara. She's got a little bit of carp fishing first, but then she's off to see the falls. But I think that fish was a great way to end the trip. And believe me, I've caught a lot of carp in my life, some bigger than that one, but they don't come much better than that.
Wow, now it's running really good. All the carps, all the rod makes beep, 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 beep. And look at that, beautiful. This is my personal big one. Oh, look, the golden color looks so cool. This is really beautiful.
Well, this is the adventure that I was talking about. I'm out in a secret place now. My love affair with muskies in Ontario continues, and I've gone all the way through this road trip without having managed to catch one. I've kind of resigned myself to it, but then along comes the youngest fishing guide I've ever been out fishing with. His name's Liam, and he tells me he knows some secret muskie spots and he's prepared to take me to them, which is exactly what he's done, and I am now going to try and catch a muskie on a fly. If I do it, he's the hero of the whole road trip as far as I'm concerned. Let's give it a go. So what other species are in here, Liam? Are there pike in here as well? Or?
No, pike generally are in the deeper lakes, mainly deep rocky lakes. And the two species don't actually coincide except for in the main Great Lakes, such as Lake Ontario or Lake Erie. But the two main species in here would probably be muskie and bass, but there are other many bait fish like perch or minnows, such as chub minnows. One just came out of the water over there. Said just came out of the water after going after bait.
Out there?
Yep.
Well, despite mine and Liam's best efforts, the elusive muskie remains elusive. But it's a very pleasant couple of hours, great way to spend an evening and a lovely place. And one thing's for sure, I'll be back to Ontario and I will get that muskie one day. So now you're back from Niagara. Was it great?
Oh, it was amazing. The waterfalls was so powerful. It's a great moment.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, our adventure is almost at an end. And I don't know, it's great to be going home, but I'm really sad. We've had a great time. And of course, it all started back at the legendary Lake of the Woods.
Oh yeah, I remember the Lake of the Woods.
Huge lake.
Absolute.
And it was a place that actually I've been really obsessed with since I was a kid. So it was great to go there. But you caught a nice pike. I caught a nice pike. I think it came off by the side of the boat before we could take it out. But then there was a moment of madness, really. We'd had several near misses with muskies up to that point. We'd had fish follow in.
Absolute.
I had one smash a bait on a figure of 8 and it didn't hook up. We had that one that followed about 6 times. Do you remember in one place? And
directly in front of the boat. You can't see when they comes, and it was amazing.
Yeah, and then finally, I think it's here. Is that it? There.
This is the lure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I fished this lure. In the first moment, I felt I hit a rock, and then my rock came alive. Then I have a big fight. I never saw such an action of my rod like this in this moment, and it was amazing. And then I saw the fish, you know, the big one, and I know this is the fish of my life.
Yeah, it certainly was. And I'm so jealous that you caught a muskie because I still haven't caught one. I've been in Ontario for all this time. But it is the fish of 10,000 casts. It was a magic moment, and your reaction actually was priceless.
Yeah, I cried a little bit because of the fish, but yeah, it was a great moment.
It was. But then do you remember you were crying at the muskie, but you were also pretty much crying when we went on that float plane.
Yeah, the first float plane trip. Oh yeah, to Sasaganiga, to the Lake Sasaganiga, right?
That's right. You were so nervous.
Oh yeah, I was really nervous because, you know, I don't like flying so much. I know when I fly, I come to the wonderful place and can fish there, but flying and then with a float plane, and yeah, I was really nervous in the first moment, and then I saw all the trees and the landscape under us, and this was so great.
Yeah, it was a good flight actually. We flew about 80 miles northeast, I think, right out into the middle of nowhere. And it really was true wilderness, wasn't it? There was an outside toilet.
Absolutely, yeah.
With some compost. We were foraging. We made some blueberry pancakes.
I remember my first one was completely black.
Yeah, took you about 6 hours to get enough blueberries as well. But anyway, the fishing was great, wasn't it? They weren't big fish there. We caught quite a lot of pike, trolling, casting. The walleyes were pretty easy to catch actually when we were jig fishing, but couldn't get one on the fly.
And remember, yeah, all the pikes with your fly rod.
Yeah.
And with the surface lures, you remember with the frog?
Yeah, I mean that was great. I had this moment of inspiration that I should put a frog fly on the surface. And they just loved it. They were only small pike, but they were so much fun. They were jumping over it and smashing
they attacked second times. When they missed the lure, they tried again.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they came back several times. Yeah, it was a fantastic experience. But I think that week passed very, very quickly. I can remember that ice house and finding this place where in the middle of the hottest period of the year, or at the end of the hottest period actually, all these huge blocks of ice that they'd stored from the spring were still frozen. That was incredible. But that passed pretty quickly, and then it was time to go back. Brad flew us back out again. We landed on the mainland at Ignace, and then we moved on, and our next destination was Thunder Bay, I think.
Thunder Bay, yeah, the city. I was fishing, trolling on walleye, but I remember my first fish was a salmon. I was really surprised about that, because I went to catch a walleye and the lovely salmon comes up.
Yeah, that was quite an unusual capture, wasn't it, to catch one in the lake? Especially just trolling in the middle of nowhere, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think at the time I was looking at trains.
Oh, yeah.
There was this train that went past, and it was absolutely enormous. It was like, you know, the trains are just phenomenal. Some of them are several kilometres long, and they're really, really noisy. But I was quite interested in the history of Thunder Bay. I actually went back on a trip to look at the history of it and buy some fly tying stuff. But from there, we went across to fish on that wonderful river, the Nipigon. Now, I know for you, the muskie was the kind of iconic fish of the trip. But for me, because I love char so much, I was just obsessed about catching a brook trout on the fly.
Yeah, yeah.
And it couldn't have gone any better, really.
Absolutely.
Fishing with Gord Ellis.
Oh yeah, it was lots of fun. Yeah, Gord Ellis is a nice guy.
Yeah, and a great fishing guide, and he put me on the fish from the word go. Really, I had so many chances. The problem was that when you got any slack line on the fly, the fish would come off, so you had to keep the line really tight. But I hooked a lot of fish both times I went out with him. The first day I caught 2 beautiful brook trout.
All right.
I think I hooked 4 that day. And then the second time I went out with you, and do you remember you got line knots and all kinds of stuff going on.
This was my day. This was not really my day. So I have I don't know, maybe I have not a good night, or I remember what's happened. In the night I have not so much sleep because we saw the northern lights.
That's right, yeah, we did, yeah.
Oh, this was an amazing moment. You see the lights danced all about us, and
I really enjoyed that place, and I'd love to go back actually to Nipigon and fish there again. And then we went to another outpost lake. We went to Esnagi Lake and Lodge 88.
To Susan,
Yeah.
Lodge 88, right. Oh, but this fly was horrible. There was really dumpy, and I was really,
Yeah, it was a very bumpy float plane ride. I remember that. You were really, really nervous. But then when we got to the other end at Lodge 88, we actually discovered some really good fishing. And do you remember the bionic bog brush?
No, it's little bit. Yeah.
But it worked.
It worked. On the third cast, I caught a pike on it.
You did? Yeah, it was great.
On little Met.
And then I used, I'd made 2 flies. I made one called Lodge 88 and one I called Ninja Turtle. And I caught a fish on Ninja Turtle almost immediately, a small pike. But then the fish I got on the Lodge 88 fly was a really nice pike, and it took the fly near the surface and absolutely hammered it. And it was a really nice, good double figure pike, a nice solid
Absolutely,
fish.
I remember.
So our homemade creations worked. But you know, the best thing about that place for me was going out one evening with a frog popper on the fly rod, and we managed to capture just this wonderful moment of a pike taking the popper on a slow motion camera, and that is just an incredible shot. You see the pike bow wave in from the side, open its jaws and just eat the popper, and we spent quite a long time trying to get that moment on film. And when it finally came off, well, it was as if we'd caught a 40-pounder. We were so, you know, happy about it.
Crazy.
So really happy memories about Lodge 88 too. So next up was Sault Ste. Marie.
Sault Ste. Marie, completely different because we wasn't really in the wilderness. This was a city. This was urban fishing. But the conditions was really bad for the salmon fishing. I remember.
Yeah, we were unlucky there. I mean, the first, we went to the Agua River first. That was absolutely bone low. Hadn't got enough water. Beautiful river.
Absolute, yeah.
But absolutely pointless fishing it. Then we went into the city and we were fishing on the rapids. Now, ordinarily, I've seen pictures of those rapids when they're at the normal height. And it's a wonderful place to catch salmon. You catch lots of salmon, lots of steelhead. It's a great place to fish. But unfortunately, some kind person at the hydroelectric plant had decided to open all of the gates from the dams and raise the water level by several feet. So in fact, what we were faced with was a massive, raging, rapid, boulder-strewn whitewater run. And so we were forced to make the best of a bad job with the worst possible salmon fishing weather too, really hot weather. So to break the monotony, I don't know whether you remember those pictographs, Machu Picchu and the wonderful shoreline at Lake Superior where there were all these Aboriginal paintings. So that was a fantastic scene, I thought.
Absolute, and the clear water in front of that painting was amazing, yeah.
But then we had to fish. I say had to fish because we wanted to catch fish, but the conditions were just so difficult. And I had an opportunity to go out in the boat with Brad. And I thought about that, but it doesn't sit that well with me. I don't like trolling. I like to cast from the shore, you know. That's just me. And I thought, no, I'm going to do it from the shore. I'd probably go for the pink salmon, but I knew it required total concentration to get them on a fly. It was boiling hot. I was just drinking water and water and focusing. The fly fishing was really short range, but actually it was very technical and quite difficult because you're using weighted flies and literally trying to put the fly into the fish's mouth and then spot the bite. So it was some of the most difficult fishing I've done, not the nicest, but some of the most difficult. And I actually caught a couple of pink salmon, which was good going.
Absolutely, yeah. And it was lots of fun to catch
It was a lot of fun, and I've got to say that, you know, we were helped a lot by Lindsay out there, and she was fantastic.
Absolutely,
the lady from
a lovely girl,
yeah. And then we went to the powwow.
Yeah, at first this was an amazing moment. It was very interesting. I never saw an event like that. It was interesting.
Yeah, I ended up dancing. I always do. I said, I'm not going to dance. I'll make sure they don't pick on me. But I was like the donkey in Trek, pick me, pick me. And they did.
And I remember how you dance like a robot.
Thank you. Yes. We'll skate over that.
This amused me a lot.
Yes, I know.
Thank you.
I always end up doing it. But what a great event. I found it very kind of spiritual, actually.
Yeah.
I really liked the philosophy of the First Nation people. We met with Dean Sayers first, the chief. I really enjoyed the whole event, going into the teepee and getting smudged, which is where, you know, you kind of look into the fire and you make a wish and then you get smudged, which is, you know, a cleansing process. Yeah. I thought it was absolutely great, really boiling hot. Anyway, where did we go after Sault Ste. Marie? It's not long ago, come on,
Yeah,
Babs?
we was on the French River.
Correct.
Yeah, right. The French River runs to the
Lake Nipissing?
Yeah, right. I remember.
Yeah. Great place, actually.
Yeah.
Really beautiful, well-run lodge.
And this was my part. I love bass fishing, and there are a lot of bass.
We did.
And a lot of fun.
Yeah, we did.
This was.
We caught them on all sorts of methods. We caught them on the kind of traditional plastic worm.
Yeah. And crankbaits and soft baits, and did you hook something on the fly? Oh yeah.
I caught a lot of bass on fly.
Oh yeah, I remember. Oh, this.
I didn't get any smallmouth. I caught a smallmouth back on Lake of the Woods on fly, but I caught quite a few largemouth. And the nice thing was when we used those frog poppers. So I used a frog popper fly, and you used a frog popper on the spinning rod, and they attacked both with complete abandon. They absolutely hammered them.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the best method.
Yeah, absolutely. And I caught a big pike on it.
Yeah.
This was great.
Yeah, I caught some pike on them too. And in the end, they ate both of my flies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the pike. But anyway, so I haven't got them anymore. They're gone. But that was really great sport, and I enjoyed very much that place. I did actually have a muskie day there, but you know the result of that.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Me and muskies just, you know, don't go together. But anyway, so after that, we came here, and I mean, let's be honest, you know, it's been the most convenient fishing here at Rice Lake. We've been at the Elmhurst Resort, right next to the water. Absolutely. Couldn't be more convenient. So we've been taking it pretty easy. But the fishing's been good.
Absolutely.
Some really nice carp, capped off by an absolute whacker, and doesn't get any better. But now, it's time to go.
No,
yeah,
it's time to go.
I'm afraid it's time to go.
Crazy.
I've really enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
It's been great.
Yeah.
Enjoyed your company.
Oh,
and
thank you so much.
Well done on all your achievements.
It was a honor to work with you, to fish with you.
A honor or a honor?
A honor. A honor.
An honor. It's an honor.
You are a really good fisherman. I'm really sad that you don't caught a muskie, but now you have a reason to come back.
I do. I do. And I will.
Remember what I said. Sometimes you are the duck, and sometimes you are the tree.
Sometimes you're the duck.
Dog.
Sometimes. You mean the dog?
Dog.
Oh, I see. Sometimes you're the dog and sometimes you're the tree. Well, actually, you can't end on a better saying than that, can you? Makes total sense to me. Good night.